The fire was not accidental. The anonymous buyer of Oliver's house is clearly not anonymous. The dirt on Charles's floor was obviously a mark from moving the fridge to see who potentially is dead behind it. The realtor that is selling Lorraine's house is clearly a mobster with lung cancer, still smoking a cigar. What in the hell was Lester doing at police auctions? New York City is opening its ever first casino. I wonder whose idea that was. Hello everyone, my name is Joe. Welcome back to the channel Delusional Theories, where we are not delusional anymore, because how on point was I with Althea's backstory? How on point was I? I mean, did I not say that the wives didn't do it? Did I not say that my last review? The way that, like, I love being right about things and then just ignore all the things I'm wrong about. I'm not too happy with the current overview of the suspects, because I wanted it to be a specific person and it's kind of looking like it's not gonna be her. Anyway, the fire was not accidental. The window was broken in right by the side of the fire that we see that is happening. And I mean, it could have been the electric kettle, but why would the window be broken if it was the electric kettle, you know? So who could potentially set a fire in Loretta's place? But oh my god, Loretta is back! If you watched oh my god, I just did a snort like Oliver. I am Oliver. I was in pain listening to his backstory. I can't believe we finally had some Oliver backstory. I will talk about it obviously, but Loretta is back. Goddess Davine is back, and we knew this was coming because we knew she had time with Diane West, I don't know her name. But who would want to burn Loretta's place down? Right? Who would want to destroy her life like that? Obviously the same person who's trying to buy Oliver's apartment. Why is someone making such an offer, such a good offer, such a impossible to turn down offer on Oliver's apartment, and then burning Loretta's apartment just to push him to make the decision to sell the apartment? Oh, I don't know. Who could profit off of the trio being separated forever and not investigating cases in the Arconia? Murder cases, criminal cases in the Arconia. Yeah. So obviously none of this is by accident. And this is the second crime that they say, oh, it was terrible accident. It wasn't an accident. And I mean, it's the same MO, modus operandi, whatever. It's the same way, it's the same method to mask the commission of a crime by pretending it was accidental, by making it seem like it was accidental. And we get a little bit more developments in Lester's death, because in this episode we see the camera footage from the Arconia and we see that it has been tampered with. I will get to it. So we know that someone is doing their best to hide this murder, and it's potentially the same person who set fire to Loretta's apartment, and potentially the same person who is trying to buy Oliver's apartment, because they're trying to separate the trio, obviously to stop them from investigating. And I've been screaming about this the whole season, but I need you guys to remember what I've been saying since my goddamn recaps. There are plot holes. Okay, there are unresolved plot holes, and one of the unresolved plot holes from season 1 is the fact that no one knows who stopped the goddamn investigation in the police. And we know that since season 1 there has been someone, a Moriarty figure. There has been someone who's been trying to stop the trio from investigating in the Arconia. For a while we thought it could have been the Westies. It wasn't the Westies because they never confirmed that it was them, even though Elga suspected it was them. So it is this person, okay? It's very real. I feel like at this point it's certain that they're going to address this season. There's a person in the Arconia, or like conducting business in the Arconia, that wants to stop the trio from investigating because the trio gets way too close to their business. And I mean, with this season's deaths, maybe they really get close to their business. So it's the same person that since season 1 has been trying to stop the trio from investigating. It's the same person who set fire to Loretta's apartment, the same person who is trying to buy Oliver's apartment. And I mean, everything in this episode is kind of pointing to the billionaires, because who the hell has the resources to do all of this if not for the billionaires? Or maybe, no, the billionaires. The way that I'm gonna be so silly and mysterious with certain suspects that I'm considering because maybe I'm planning something. I get way too invested in this show, and then I want to be as mysterious as them, and I end up being as cringy as them. Anyway, there's someone behind all this bullshit. And right now, everything is pointing to the billionaires. We see the ending of the episode with the cameras being revealed to be owned by the same company and managed by the same company, which is the company of, what's his name? Londa. We're going to call him Londa. So everything is kind of pointing to him as the person behind all of this. I didn't notice, but I kind of wanted to, if the robot had the same like peachy symbol. The construction people just came to start making a lot of noise again. Like this morning they were cutting rock, like big, like thick rock. Anyway, it's becoming clearer and clearer what they are addressing in the season, which is the Moriarty figure. And who's it gonna be? Honestly, everything is pointing to the billionaires. It is. Everything is pointing to Londa. I don't want it to be him. I don't want it to be the billionaires that are like the Moriarty figure, like behind everything. If they're going to reveal the Moriarty figure behind everything, I need it to be someone in the building. I need it to be someone who's been here since day one. Someone who's been like, just, like, pretending and lying so well. I want it to be Howard. It's never gonna be Howard. If it turns out to be Mabel's aunt, I will accept that. I will accept Mabel's aunt. I mean, if we think about it, when has Mabel ever been in true real danger? Really? Anyway, moving on to the next clue, the dirt on Charles's floor. If anyone has any other ideas about what this is, let me know. But I mean, immediately I thought it was one of those like little marks that are left when you just move the fridge a little bit. I don't have anything else to say about that, because that's all I think it is. Now, why would they want to move the fridge? What could potentially be behind Charles's fridge? We went back to the tunnels a little bit in the beginning because it's kind of a tunnel that takes them to the Velvet Room. Could there be like a vent with a passage to some other place? I don't know. I don't know why that would be there, but that's the only thing I felt like it was, a little black mark. I felt like it was like a moving mark from like moving your fridge. Now, they go to they go to Lester's and Lorraine's house because Lorraine is selling the house, and this is a whole mess in itself. I don't understand what's happening here, because eventually they have the confrontation. But, like, when Sophia explains it, she says that she liquidated the account because like the business was over. She said that Nikki had a few businesses going on in the Arconia. So it was the Velvet Room, it was Nikki the Knife. What else? If it is a few businesses, it's just a two. It's not just two. So what other businesses did Nikki have going on in the Arconia? I mean, it could be the Velvet Room, Tommy did I say Nikki the Knife? Is it Tommy the Knife? The knife and the dry cleaners. But I mean, when she says businesses, it's kind of like sketchy businesses, right? So there has to be something else. But even if Sophia was like closing out the account because now that he's dead, no one is going to manage the Velvet Room and they don't need Tommy the Knife to provide, services, I guess. Even if she was closing out the account for that, we know from the past episode from Detective Williams that it is like a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And I mean, if she was giving Lorraine her part of the money, why would she need to sell the house? This is where it's not computing in my head. Why would Lorraine need to sell the house? Is Sophia not telling her how much money it actually is? Is Sophia scheming Lorraine? Because then we see the realtor that is selling the house on behalf of Lorraine, and it's clearly like some relative of Sophia's, because we know that she comes from a mob family, and we know that the mob is dying out. That guy clearly looks like he is in the mob. I mean, dying of lung cancer, still smoking his goddamn cigar. I don't know what kind of theories they're going to arise for that cough. There will be theories, for sure. I can think of them, but there will be theories. But clearly, it was like a case of Sophia being like, okay, Lorraine, I have someone who can sell this house for you. And it's just a mobster. But why does Lorraine need to sell the house if she has Lester's share on the businesses in the Arconia? Because, I mean, Lester was paid enough to put his kids through college and all these shenanigans. So surely it would be a bigger amount than that. It would be a big enough amount that she would be able to keep, like, to pay the taxes on the house. No? So what I was thinking is Sophia, because when they are confronted in the theater and Lorraine is like, what? My husband was murdered? Tell me who did it. I'm going to kill them. I believed her too. And I'm still a little suspicious because Oliver said, I believe you because you made me feel stuff. That's not a reason, Oliver. But I never felt like Lorraine was behind it. And I mean, it'll be a great twist if she is. But I don't trust Sophia. I don't trust Sophia. And I think it could be her. Because, like, Lorraine never even explains why Tommy the Knife's headquarters was at her house. And now I'm thinking that maybe she didn't know about it because she says that Lester never told her too much about the business that was going on because he felt ashamed of it. So could it be that Sophia is behind all this shit? Because we know that Nikki was not a real mobster. We know that Sophia comes from a family of mafia people, but Nikki didn't. The goddamn shitty-ass poet. Is Sophia the mastermind, the Taylor Swift mastermind behind a lot of this? Is she the one behind Tommy the Tongue? Is she the one behind putting Tommy the Tongue in the Lester household, like headquartered in the Lester household? Because clearly she was close with the wife. So that they had, like, I don't know, cahoots. Is Sophia behind it? Was Sophia, this is what I already said in my previous review, right? Sophia was managing the Velvet Room and just, putting Nikki there as a farce. Sophia maybe is the one who was managing this Tommy the Tongue business and is the one who emptied the accounts and is simply not telling Lorraine how much money it actually was. I mean, is Sophia the criminal mastermind between this aspect of the show? Because there are always several crimes and several criminals in Only Murders in the Building. There are always multiple people. I feel like Sophia is obviously one of them. Right? What was Lester doing at police auctions? Like, I'm not from the US. I don't know how common it is for, like, a regular people to go to these police auctions. But from what I know, it's like when they apprehend stuff from criminals and then they need to sell it because what the hell are they going to do with, that kind of shit? And he bought that at a police auction. So, like, I'm assuming it was apprehended during, like, a criminal operation. They, like, arrested someone and apprehended their stuff and the dagger was with it. Why was Lester going to those auctions? Because isn't it, like, common for them to auction off stuff that they apprehend when they, like, arrest people in the mob? Isn't that, like, a common thing? In the movies. So my question is, was Lester there on behalf of Nikki to look for something specific that was apprehended that was his? Or maybe, like, some, like, as a fanboy, because he was a mobster fanboy, maybe he wanted to buy, he's in the goddamn Godfather house. Clearly he was a fanboy. What I'm thinking is that Lester went to these auctions because he was going there on behalf of Nikki to buy, like, old school shit from mobsters from the city just to play up this role of this big mafia guy that he wasn't. Next point, if New York City, the way that these people just, like, sprinkle random facts that are going to end up being relevant to the plot just in the middle of a chase. The fact that New York City is going to open its ever first casino, first of all, I'm not from there. I don't know if there were casinos there before. I have no idea. But there are, like, speakeasies, like the one in the Velvet Room. So potentially there are other casinos. I mean, that's not a casino, but it's like a game room from a casino. So it's close enough. And when we got the explanation of the Velvet Room, they also mentioned that there were stables, like old stables like that in a lot of buildings in New York. So it kind of implies that these sorts of game rooms or places that were repurposed for something else are quite common in these old buildings. So if there is the Velvet Room, potentially there are other Velvet Rooms like casinos or like game rooms similar to that one. Why would they want to open up a casino like in the open now? Would a mayor really want to do that? Or would it be from the mouths of the billionaires? Because that's how it feels to me. Because they say that there are a lot of like contenders, people who want to probably, I don't know, work. I don't know how that works. They're going to hire some private company to build it, probably. But come on, the idea came from the billionaires. It's who else would think of that? What public servant or like politician in their right mind would think of building a goddamn casino? This is coming from the billionaires, and no way in hell this is not going to connect to the main plot line. Somewhere, somehow, this is going to be about the mayor and the influence the billionaires have on the mayor, which they also have on the police and clearly on the firefighters, if they were able to, fake the fire in Loretta's apartment as being an accident. So this is going to play into whatever plan the billionaires are like fucking with. Because the tech billionaire is shown to be behind of the footage. Clearly we have footage of when they were inside Charles's apartment to steal the finger back. We have footage of whoever clearly pushed Lester the night he died and was obviously there. I mean, I think it's very clear at this point that it was not an accident and that someone was there potentially pushing him. And now that we know that the billionaire tech dude is the one who erased all this footage, we can assume that he's very much involved in this. Either one of the billionaires was there and were the people who, I don't know, killed Nikki and Lester, or they are like covering up for someone. And even though I kind of want to say, it's the billionaires, we got it, it's them, it's too early on and they are too obvious. And I mean, Jay had a missing finger as well. I feel like they are covering up for whoever did this purely out of embarrassment. To be honest, purely out of embarrassment. Like something happened, that one of them got hurt, things were out of control, and they were like, okay, we gotta hide this. Not because they were implicated in the way that, they did any of it, but because it was embarrassing, because they didn't want to be on the news as these idiots who got, I don't know, tricked by some low-life criminal. That's what I'm feeling like it is. You know how rich people, like if there's drug abuse in the family, if there is violence in the family or any kind of those issues, they just pay to hide it and fix it themselves, and then it's never fixed. That's the vibes that I'm getting from these billionaires. Not that they were the ones who committed these crimes, but they are so embarrassed to be involved in them and they want to protect their public image that they're covering up for whoever did it. That's the vibe that I'm getting, to be honest, because it's too early for us to know the suspects and for the suspects to be like the people who did it. I feel like it's going to be the people who are less in the spotlight. And I mean, let's discuss the suspects now that we're at it. I feel like we have to eliminate Lorraine, but also now that I feel like we have definitely to eliminate Lorraine, it just makes her look more suspicious, doesn't it? I don't think she did it. I never thought from the beginning that she did it. I don't think that's how they're going to, shape the show, because Lorraine is associated with Lester, and Lester is like this very wholesome figure in the show. And I mean, the love of his life turns out to be like a killer and have killed him or something. I don't see it. I could see her killing Nikki if she thought Nikki did it. I could see that. Someone commented that on my comment section a while ago. I could see that. After the way that she reacted when Oliver told her that Lester was killed, I could see that. I could see that. But I'm officially eliminating her from the suspects. If she did do Nikki, good for her, I guess. Althea, I think, I mean, they wouldn't do all of this with Mabel, just then make her the kid. I wish they could. I wish they would do that. But I don't think they will. I think Althea is officially eliminated from the suspects in my mind. The billionaires is too obvious. It's too obvious. They are involved somehow. I mean, the guy is losing his finger. The tech guy is covering whatever the hell has happened. But it's too obvious. It's too obvious. I think it could still be the mayor. I think Sophia is also too obvious, but I also think she's behind some of it. I think Sophia and the billionaires are behind most of it. But then the people who actually killed Nikki and Lester are just like someone else. And listen, I hate to say this because I don't want it to be them, but the underworld workers are looking so suspicious because they are so out of the spotlight right now. And it's always the people who are like falling between the cracks, you know, at this stage in the season that end up being the ones who did it. So I'm looking at the mayor and I'm looking at the underworld staff of the Arconia. But now the most emotional side of the episode, I was like genuinely, I felt like I was watching Fleabag because they were like getting me into it with the humor and the lightheartedness of all of it. And then we hear Oliver's sad story. Like he said something, I wrote it down because it was so sad, but like accurate. Bouncing from place to place, you learn that quiet is good. If you make yourself small, maybe a family will let you stay for a while. I was in pain. Like, I'm happy that we get more backstory from Oliver, but I was in pain. Like, why do they all have to suffer so? This is what it is, isn't it? The freakiest people in life are the ones who suffer the most. Ugh. They all have tragic backstories. And we're seeing Oliver leave the building. I mean, I'm kind of still hoping he doesn't, because clearly it's going to be revealed that the person who's behind, like, buying his apartment is Camilla. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen, but this is also supposed to be the final season, so, like, maybe we're going to have, like, a wrapped up arc of where they're going to be. I mean, Mabel is creating, like, restoring old bonds. She's gonna have another friend in the building. Charles is out there to get a girlfriend somehow. It feels like they are, you know, building the story to wrap it up for the audience. Oh my god, this looks like killing a person. It looks like they're wrapping it up for the audience, and I hope, I'm gonna cry so much. I hope they are not wrapping it up. I hope it's just a trick and then it's gonna be another season, but I already know I'm gonna cry if it happens. And also in this episode we had Loretta back, and I mean the actors for Loretta and Oliver are dating, and it's so cute and it's so clear, and it just makes me suffer. Like, if you've been here for a while, you know that Loretta is my favorite character. I love Loretta. I love Meryl Streep also. But yeah, it was such an emotional episode in the way that, like, we see Loretta. I don't know what I would do if all of my stuff, like, burned like that, especially after, like, almost 50 years of living there. It's all, like, ash. That is absolutely insane. Like, if all my babies burned, my soul would be destroyed. These are, like, books that I've been collecting since I was, like, a kid, since I was, like, 14, 15 years old. And they are literally my babies. Like, all the stories that I've written are here, like, all of my photographs. This is such an emotional episode. Like, they mixed it with the comedy and gave us the Fleabag punch, but it truly feels like they're saying, like, they've started to say goodbye. Like, this is what it feels like. It feels like they have started to say goodbye, and I don't want to. Anyway, if you're still watching, just to let you know that I'm still reeling from The Summer I Turned Pretty. Literally just finished my, like, 100th rewatch of season 3. It's pretty bad. It's really bad. It's really, really bad. Like, I went on Bumble again. It's really bad. So I won't be posting a lot for a while because I'm literally just watching this show. It's insane. Also, I was going to review the Savant, and then they didn't release it. Cowards. Absolute cowards. But there's a few cool shows coming, so I will be back. I'm just recovering from the punch that was seeing a modern day Darcy in action. Also, I will get there with my 100 favorite films series. So I will get to Pride and Prejudice 2005, Pride and Prejudice 2005 Keira Knightley version. The other day I was watching like some stand up, and there was like this guy that was Italian saying like words that he can't pronounce in English. And I realized just watching him that I cannot pronounce those same words. Even though I try, it doesn't look good. And one of them is literature, because I say literature and that's not how you say it. Literature. Why am I still recording? I will see you next week with another review of Only in the Building. And yes, I am preparing like a big theory video. I'm so pumped. I'm gonna go insane in that one. Anyway, I'll see you then. Bye. As you can see, I've changed the layout of my little like library corner. I will move rooms in a little bit, but I needed like a change. And in the meantime, I lost my chapstick, so I'm using little sunscreen. Strange times.